NASA detected a signal from deep space, then went silent. In 1899, Nikola Tesla believed he had heard something impossible. While experimenting with an ultra-sensitive antenna, he picked up a strange repeated pattern that seemed too organized to be ordinary noise. At the time, radio communication on Earth was still in its early stages, so Tesla wondered if the signal had come from somewhere beyond our planet. He even suggested it may have been a message from Mars. Most scientists later rejected that idea, but Tesla's strange discovery became part of a much bigger question that still follows humanity today. What if space is not as silent as it looks? What if, hidden inside the endless background noise of the universe, there are signals we do not fully understand? More than a century later, NASA and other space researchers are still listening, and sometimes the universe answers in ways that feel deeply unsettling. A signal appears suddenly, does not behave the way scientists expected, it does not repeat when they look again. Then, just as quickly as it arrived, it disappears into silence. That's what makes this story so disturbing. Not just that a strange signal was detected from deep space, but that after the signal it was nothing. No clear sound message, no easy explanation, no comforting answer, just silence from the darkness. The universe is not quiet. To most people, space looks empty and silent. But to scientists, the universe is constantly speaking. Stars collapse, black holes pull in matter, pulsars spin like cosmic lighthouses, magnetars release violent bursts of energy. Entire galaxies collide across distances so large that human history feels like a single second compared to them. These events can create radio waves, X-rays, gamma rays, and other signals that travel across space for millions or even billions of years before reaching Earth. By the time we detect them, the object that created them may already be dead, changed, or completely gone. That is what makes deep space signals so strange. They're not just signals from far away. Many of them are signals from the past. When scientists detect them, they are listening to something that may have happened long before human civilization even existed. Most of these signals have natural explanations, but every now and then, something appears in the data that does not neatly fit into what scientists already know. It is too powerful, too brief, too organized, or too strange. And that's when the question begins. The signal that started the mystery. The signal did not appear as a voice. It was not a clear message, and it did not arrive with words anyone could translate. It showed up as a sudden burst of energy inside scientific data, that kind of discovery that can easily be missed unless someone is looking closely. At first, scientists had to treat it like a possible mistake. That's how science works. Before calling something mysterious, researchers have to rule out the ordinary explanations. It could be interference from Earth. It could be a satellite. It could be a problem with the equipment. It could even be a local source of radio noise that bounced in a strange way and fooled the telescope. But when a signal survives those early checks, it becomes much harder to ignore. And this one had the kind of behavior that makes researchers cautious. It was brief, intense, and difficult to explain immediately. It did not stay long enough to be studied properly. It arrived more like a flash in a dark room. Bright enough to prove something happened, but too quick to reveal exactly what caused it. Then came the part that made everything more unsettling. Scientists listened again, but nothing returned. Echoes of the wow signal. This is not the first time a strange signal from space has left scientists without answers. In 1977, a radio telescope in Ohio detected what became known as the wow signal. It was strong, narrow band, and came from the direction of the constellation Sagittarius. The signal was so unusual that the astronomer who noticed it circled the printout and wrote "wow" beside it. For decades, the wow signal has remained one of the most famous unsolved mysteries in astronomy. Scientists searched the same region of space again and again, hoping it would repeat, but it never did. That silence is what made it legendary. A repeating signal can be studied. Scientists can measure it, compare it, and slowly narrow down where it came from. But a signal that appears once and then vanishes is different. It leaves behind just enough evidence to be remembered, but not enough evidence to be fully understood. That is why mysterious deep space signals can feel haunting. The signal itself may last only seconds, but the silence afterward can last for decades. Fast radio bursts. One possible explanation for signals like this is a fast radio burst, often called an FRB. These are sudden flashes of radio energy that can last only a fraction of a second. Some of them release an enormous amount of power in that tiny moment, even though they vanish almost instantly. For years, scientists did not know what caused them. Some appeared once and were never seen again. Others repeated, giving researchers a better chance to study them. Because they were so powerful and so brief, people began wondering if they could be artificial. Could they be scattered pieces of communication from another civilization? Could they be signals from something intelligent far beyond Earth? The more scientists studied them, the more natural explanations began to emerge. Some fast radio bursts may come from magnetars, which are dead stars with magnetic fields so powerful they are almost impossible to imagine. If a magnetar experiences a violent shift or sudden release of energy, it can send a burst across space strong enough to reach Earth. But even that explanation does not solve everything. Magnetars may explain some signals, but not necessarily all of them. And when a signal appears once, refuses to repeat, and leaves no clear source behind, it remains trapped between science and mystery. NASA, Voyager, and the strange silence. The mystery becomes even more uncomfortable when NASA's own spacecraft enters the story. In 2022, NASA reported that Voyager 1, the most distant human-made object from Earth, was sending back strange data from interstellar space. The spacecraft was still operating, but some of the information it returned did not make sense. Voyager 1 had already crossed beyond the outer limits of the solar system, traveling through a region of space no human machine had ever explored before. So when strange data arrived from something that far away, it immediately captured attention. The explanation was not aliens. It was not likely a technical issue inside an aging spacecraft that had been traveling for decades. But the situation still felt eerie. Here was a machine carrying a golden record meant to represent humanity, drifting through the darkness between stars, suddenly sending back information that seemed wrong. That's why stories like this stay in people's minds. Space already feels distant and unreachable. When something strange happens out there and the answers are not immediate, the imagination fills the gaps. The question nobody can fully ignore. Whenever scientists detect an unusual signal from space, one question always appears, even if serious researchers try not to rush toward it. Could it be intelligent? The honest answer is that there is no proof of that. A strange signal is not evidence of alien life. A powerful burst is not the same thing as a message. The universe can create patterns that look organized without anyone designing them. Still, the question refuses to disappear. Humanity has been wondering for generations whether Earth is alone. If another civilization existed somewhere out there, would they send signals? Would we recognize them? Or would their messages pass through our instruments as noise because we do not know what to look for? That is what makes the silence so powerful. If the signal came back, scientists could test it. If it had structure, they could study it. If it repeated, they could search for meaning. But when it appears once and never returns, it becomes a single knock from the darkness, followed by nothing. For now, the signal remains part of a much larger mystery. Maybe it was a fast radio burst. Maybe it came from a magnetar. Maybe it was a natural event so rare that scientists have not fully understood it yet. Or maybe it was simply one more reminder that the universe is still far stranger than we want to believe. The most unsettling part is not that NASA and other scientists detected something unusual from deep space. The unsettling part is that after it appeared, the universe went quiet again. No second pulse, no clear source, no final answer. Somewhere far beyond Earth, something released energy strong enough to cross the darkness and reach our instruments. For one brief moment, it was as if space had spoken. Then it stopped. Maybe one day the same region of space will speak again. Maybe the signal will return, clearer and stronger than before. And if it does, scientists will be listening, because the scariest thing about deep space is not that it is silent. It is that sometimes, for reasons we still do not understand, it suddenly is not.